Going on, man? This is TNigma.
Yeah, and this is TNigma, and this is Enigmas Unchained. What it do, my peoples? This is TNigma with Enigmas Unchained, and we are back after a small hiatus. The holidays have been ignorant. They ain't been kind of nobody. Rona don't like nobody. You know what I'm saying? Now that does retail. But hey, you know what I'm saying? We kicking it and we surviving right now. So this particular episodes of the few that you're gonna get from us is got some special brothers on here. They were on previously beforehand, but I gotta let them do their own shout outs, but I'm gonna introduce them quickly. So we got Matt. He's at Cinema Syndrome. Is BG still a thing now?
BG is alive, but you know it's what's about to happen is it's getting ready to be incorporated into Cinema Syndrome.
Okay, cool.
So it's soon going to be like another. It's pretty much going to be another arm. What we're doing. The main goal is to get content every day. And that's just gonna help. So it's still alive. He's just sleeping. He's sleeping real hard right now.
Okay, cool. All right. What's up? Yeah, but look him up, man. Cinema Syndrome on Apple, Spotify, Google, and wherever your podcasting services is at. So I mean, check them out. They are hilarious. They have great art for their episodes. I crack up every single time. So that's very, very good stuff, man. And also I got on my boy, man, Steelz Forever, you know what I'm saying, with he has multiple ventures now. It feels like that man selling shirts, you know. You're killing the game. You know what I'm saying? I had to buy one. I said, but let me get a Voice of Reason podcast. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Steelz Forever. You know what I'm saying? You're like the king of geeks. How you doing, man?
Feeling good, man. How you? It's been a while.
It's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's been we've been good, but I want to make sure before we close this year that we had like a conversation about gaming, because this year has been belligerent with gaming. It's been equally wonderful and terrible. This year, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but it's been a weird year. So we're gonna tackle what we consider to be the worst release game this year. We're gonna tackle gaming monetization and the issues with gaming monetization right now, especially going into the since we have next gen is here. We don't even have to. We actually can't even call it. It's now current gen now. But the current gen consoles right now are completely different from the last. So now we got to talk about what monetization looks like. We're going to deal with a couple other topics, you know, dealing with, like what we think developers and stuff like that have done right and wrong. You know, we're going to jump into multiple things. We're going to start first with like worst games. It's like worst games of 2020. And we're all, we can overlap. It don't matter. I mean, but I'm just like, cause I think we might end up like kind of getting in each other's plates a little bit on this situation. But yeah, so Matt, what did you perceive this year? 2020 was the worst game released this year.
The worst game, man, and I thought about this for a while, even before you brought it up in discussion, man. The worst game, and I don't say this lightly, the worst game was Marvel Avengers. Now, there's some other ones that I think got really, really close to just being terrible. Battletoads being one. I did get Battletoads for PC, and that was a terrible idea. That was a terrible idea. I should have just watched, I don't know, Nickelodeon or some crap.
Okay, pause for a second. Just pause for one moment. Man. So for the people that don't know, Phil Spencer last year at E3, I remember this thing verbatim almost, just because he lost like 10,000 YouTubers that were backing him. He said Battletoads in 8-bit, and people were like, what? Because they had Battletoads and Killer Instinct. I think it was Killer Instinct, right? And they were they were graphically great, right? So people was like, yo, we get a Battletoads that's graphically great and it's Battletoads. That's a console seller. Like on the real, that's console seller. Right. And they released this 8-bit busted version of Battletoads. And it was worse than the one that came out on Nintendo. And we're like, Phil, what are you doing? Again. We'll get into Phil a little bit later on with Xbox and Game Pass and stuff. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. I just had to throw that in and give people context on how bad that Battletoads game. That means Avengers got to be like hardcore trash. You know, before.
Okay. So where do I even begin? Now, I consider myself to be the most critical person on Marvel Avengers. I was critical on this game when it was announced because they had the audacity to bring out Peggy Bundy. Peggy Bundy, that was Black Widow. They had Dollar Store Hulk. They had Odin's stepson, and they had I don't know who Iron Man was. You know, I guess he just it was Tony.
He was a hipster from San Francisco.
I don't know. I guess my first thing that really set me off was why does Troy Baker had to be in every video game? That was step one. Step two was we have this ginormous Marvel universe, cinematic comic books and all this stuff. And you choose Kamala Khan to drive the narrative. When I saw that day one, I was like, okay, this is gonna be terrible. But I got a rule: if I'm talking hella trash, I need to buy the game and play it for myself because I need validation of my hatred. And so I bought the game, I played it, and I played it for about, let's say, 15 hours. About 15 hours. Shallow, boring. There's nothing to do. They don't update it enough for the type of game that they want you to have. You can clear this game in no time. The interactions are not even as funny as the Marvel movies themselves, which I don't even think is funny. I feel like everything in this is forced. I do give them credit. If you look at it from the beginning where it was announced to where it is now, the character models are light years better. But as far as overall content and for the audacity for them to charge you $59.99, is absolutely terrible. And even if you look at the DLC schedule, they got I forget her name. I think it's Hawkeye's daughter. I can't remember her name to save my life. Why in the world? Once again, let's go back to what I said earlier. In the wealth of the Marvel Cinematic world, that you choose Hawkeye's daughter to be your next DLC character. What is Storm doing? All right. What is Black Panther doing? What is even Prodigy doing? What is Red Hulk doing? What are all these other characters that you can put in this doing that you choose her? The second thing is, why in the world, for everything that you have in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, do you create a fictional organization and call it AIM and make Murdoch the bad guy? We ain't got nobody else. So Murdoch was the only one that could clock in. He the only one who didn't have COVID. That was it. He the only one that have it. Oh, everybody's sick. Okay, we gotta pull something out of our ass. Let's get Murdoch in here. Let's just call it AIM. They ruined something that had the potential to be better than what it was. And what makes it even worse is the blueprint was out there. There's 3 or 4 Marvel Ultimate Alliances. There's 2 X-Men Legends with some would say original stories that are based off like stuff that's in the comic books. And it's all done well. It's all great. But they chose to fail. They chose not to pass the test. And this is why they're not going to make the money they need to make off of it. This is why it's going to suffer and fail. And this is why it's Anthem 2.0.
Oh, God. Anthem 2.0.
Yeah, I'm done. I ain't got no more to say. They might lock me up for this slander.
I mean, so, and that's crazy. Mine is the same one. It is Marvel's Avengers as well, because when they proposed this game, they proposed that it was going to be the filler for the Avengers movie scene, and we were not going to have an Avengers movie for so long. And they talked about how we were going to get these world events, so that would roll out that people could actually play, and that it would allow people to feel like they were a part of a Marvel movie experience. Well, I don't see that. Maybe I'm blind, but I mean, so I played the game for literally an hour and I gave it away. I was like, nope. It don't tell me, this is real gamer talk right now. Real gamers, it don't take us but 15 minutes to really know if this game is going to be great.
Right.
If it take you longer than that, you're doing it wrong. So like you're doing it real wrong. I knew 15 minutes in the Ghost of Tsushima that I was like, this game is gonna be ignorant. Let's keep playing this game. You know what I'm saying? I knew that. Like just let's Assassin's Creed Valhalla. 15 minutes in, I'm like, y'all done changed the game up. Let's go ahead and keep this bad boy going. Cyberpunk. So if Cyberpunk don't meet the 15-minute requirements, I know they will. But when Cyberpunk hit that 15 minutes, you're like, I know I'm gonna be playing this game until we finish. Avengers, first 15 minutes of the game is you playing as Kamala while she stumbles over her words, going through multiple buildings and stuff like that. You know, like I was like, I'm done. You know, like once you get done with the beginning tutorial, you know, like where they show you how every one of the characters fight, I was like, okay, this is a cop out because once we get done with this, we going straight to the little girl. And Kamala Khan is one of the most boring characters that
they could have
used. So I'm gonna ask you a question, Matt. Yeah, your question that you had. You said why Miss Marvel, right? Let me show you something real quick, okay? Let me show you a few things so you can see what's going on in the brain of Marvel. So there's a lady at Marvel. Her name is Sana Amanat. Sana Amanat wrote Miss Marvel. She's a Muslim female, and she wanted to create the first Muslim superhero.
Right.
So she became the creator. Just give you more context. She's a beautiful woman. I'm not even gonna say in front. She's bad. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time,
B-A-D.
But at the same time, she don't know how to write no comic book. So she had to co-write this thing with what's that woman name? I forget her name off the top of the dome, but they co-wrote the story together, and they pretty much made this girl into an inept Mary Sue. That's the best way I can actually explain that. And because she made the first, this is why she in the video game, brother. And because she made the first Marvel Muslim female superhero, guess what she got promoted to? Director of Content and Character Development. So all these moves that we've been seeing in Marvel comic books is her idea.
So okay,
yeah. So that's a fun fact because most people don't know that. And I'm not like I deal with these folk. So Sana Amanat is the reason why there has been so many dud creations, because everybody's chasing after the first thing. You know what I'm saying? Well, we want to make the first gay superhero flippity flu blah skippity wee thing. We just want to do that because we want to make the first black female robotic cyborg such and such superhero theme. We just go do that. And what's the storyline about? Oh, we story. Well, she's first black female.
See, okay.
She's first black female, you know. So them doing that was by the behest, because the consultants for this game was your boy who created Guardians of the Galaxy, Roseman, and her. So this is what you get. You get what you deserve, as Joker said. You know what I'm saying? Like that. This is what they asked for. They asked for her to be a boss at Marvel, and now Marvel's doing cooking shows versus doing comic books because she wants it to be a lifestyle brand. I'm only telling you what I know and not what I feel. This is facts. So because we got Kamala Khan, one of the most uninteresting characters in Marvel history, she puts a lightning bolt on her chest after watching Captain Marvel once. When a real Captain Marvel is a black woman, we ain't gonna get into that. Because Brie Larson ain't gonna give up that throne to no black girl. So let's be real. She ain't that progressive. She ain't that progressive, yo. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but we're like, okay, you know. So, but it was her. It's her idea. She is the reason why you have a bum game.
Okay. So the only thing that I can say in my heart of hearts, I'm just glad they didn't pick Squirrel Girl. But you know, it's like
She's coming.
Oh God!
Not Squirrel Girl. Not
like
the joke. Squirrel Girl is like a joke character.
You know what's crazy though? What really got me about the Squirrel Girl situation? We all know she's a joke character, right? All of us, right? For some reason, this new generation don't understand that.
They don't think so. They don't think so.
They don't think that she's a joke character. They think that like I said, I've stated this multiple times. My beef with Deadpool. Deadpool's a joke character.
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool is not a character I want. When there's a world crisis, I don't want him around. Man, I'm not like Avengers assemble, and then I see Deadpool. I'm like, who invited this sucker? Who invited?
Why are you here?
Why are you here? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you here? Oh, well, I'm here to save the day. No, you're a distraction. You take your behind home. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like that joke characters that became very serious characters in this generation, because people don't want the seriousness of what comes with saving the world or doing work to save the world. They don't want to deal with that. No, they want it easy. They want we want to be able to laugh about it at the end of the day. Well, some days you're gonna cry.
Yeah, you know the thing about it is, man, you know the old Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the old Marvel games give us the most iconic moments. If you ever play Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, you remember that moment when Nick Fury was taken over by the nanomachines.
Facts.
You know what I mean? You remember that moment. You remember that moment where you had to choose different characters because the Civil War happened. You remember that stuff.
Yep.
You remember playing that over and over again. And I think that's why I didn't give it a good enough review because it didn't, and I hate the base things off nostalgia, right? And so I knew it wasn't going to give me that. I knew already. I knew it wasn't going to give me that. But I wanted to take some type of chance. I wanted to do something else, man. You know, and once again, I hated Battletoads. I bought Battletoads PC. I hated it. I hate every second I played it. But
it's clean hate, Matt. Like it's different.
Right,
you know, it's clean. It's like you know what, this game is just ain't it. You know what I'm saying? That's clean.
Good. It's just not good, man.
But Avengers, you could see the writing on the wall. They were supposed to be great. You could see it. You can see it's plain as day. You're like, okay, I got. Like you call her Peggy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm using it. I'm using that from now on. I didn't even
Peggy Bundy, flat out. Look at it.
She does look like Peggy Bundy.
Bonbons.
Like, and so my homeboy, when we first saw Captain America in there, he said Captain America looked fat. and I had to go back and look at it, and I was like, he do look fat. He got a gut. He look like he is the
tactical suit Cap. SWAT team Cap.
Yeah, well, but yeah, like it's. I mean, implementation, the microtransaction foods that they did with Avengers, like them locking stuff up. L. Bishop being the first character that you bringing into the game was bad. Like I agree with you, that's a bad idea.
Man, you don't want to make money.
Once again, that's one of them characters that was created in this generation that don't have no weight. It's like no offense, she ain't got no. You could have done Vision.
Yeah, anybody.
Vision would have been lovely. I mean, when was the last time you got to play as Vision?
Yeah.
Because, it's like I've been saying about those games for quite a while because I play a lot of those type of games. Like, and I say it's like when you have what do they call it? A game as service.
Yeah, game as
type
service.
game.
Game
I just call them MMOs. Because that's to me that's what it is. I just they don't want to use that terminology.
MMO
because they feel like it scares people away. That's really just what this is,
Pretty much.
You got to have a beginning, middle, and end point.
Yep.
The beginning is kind of like the story.
Yep.
And then you hit you finish the story, and then there's a second phase to where it's like they call it the soft cap, and that's where you beat the game, and then you got a middle game to where you grind to a hard cap.
Yeah.
So you got activities or more story or whatever it is to get you through the middle cap and then the hard cap.
Yeah.
And the hard cap is where you typically would go into like a raid type situation.
Yeah.
Some type of infernal. If you're playing Diablo, it'd be more in the infernal things and you got raids and things. And so that was really the only saving grace to Destiny. That for as bad as it was when it first came out, it had a beginning, a middle, and end.
It did.
And that kept people around.
It did.
But with Avengers, and like games like Anthem and things like that, it's like they just give you the beginning of the game, the middle game, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you got. So once I beat Avengers, I'm like, okay, it's okay. And I didn't really expect much because I knew if it was supposed to be a game and service game, then the story wasn't gonna be good anyway. Typically what it is anyway, And nobody remembers this. If you do remember the story, it's more lore, like stuff you looked up.
Yeah.
Like with any MMO, like World of Warcraft. Like you have to go buy the books, you have to go get the lore to get the story. But the story in the game for the most part sucks. Because it's done quick.
Steelz though, MODOK.
Yeah.
I mean, out of all the characters on the planet that you could have picked, you picked MODOK.
Well, the more thing was I was confused at how the Avengers was really struggling with him. Like, he basically defeated him.
Homie, look, man. Look. When I saw that scene, and I saw, like, you know, they said homeboy name. I said, okay. I said, is this sucker MODOK? I remember saying in the beginning, right. I said, is he MODOK? I said, if he's MODOK, this game just went from a 4 to a 2 because MODOK was never a threat.
At all.
Ever.
No scenario.
No scenario was MODOK like just, oh my goodness, we tremble before MODOK. MODOK is the Deadpool of villains.
Kane the Conqueror wasn't doing nothing. We can do nothing with time. Yeah, he wasn't doing nothing this week.
Let's not even.
He got COVID too. He's sick.
He got COVID in like 3033 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's COVID 23. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, it's you know, I'm like that. Which is crazy that you bring up Khan the Conqueror, because Khan the Conqueror's in conversation for MCU for the future. And I'm like, once again, you screwed the pooch. You should have had, because Khan, he was always watching.
Right.
All you had to do was show, like, you could have just done like Damocles, such and such year, and then it rewinds and it shows the people, what in the world is that happening? And that's what he would do. You would just see him rewinding time, looking through time to see what was going on. You don't need to show him. I say he was doing that for Cap. He was trying to kill Cap. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you the problem, and I'm murking you. You know what I'm saying? I lost my woman because of you, sucker. I mean, and Khan the Conqueror wasn't even really a villain. He was just a conqueror. Right. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, dude, you made me lose my wife. You think you're going to get away with that? And I was like, what did Cap do? You know, it was like, Cap. He was like, oh, no, I'm blessing you today. I was like, goodness gracious, what did you do, Cap? But it's on you, Steelz. What was the worst game?
Probably what y'all talking about. That's why I was just listening. Like, I mean, because like I was saying kind of earlier, you know, I just kind of feel like I'm at I'm not gonna say age. I'm gonna say a space that I kind of know what I like and what I kind of know what I like, what I don't want to play, and what I'll try. Kind of like Matt.
Yeah.
So it's Marvel. I'll try it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the games I probably tried that I kind of knew wasn't going to work out well, but in the same vein, because going in, once I knew it was a game on service, I mean, it takes a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Like the reason why games like World of Warcraft and stuff works, and like Final Fantasy 14, because they got people paying $15 every month.
Every single month. And they get content though.
Right. And pay another $50 for a mount.
For a mount, right. So they'll buy the expansion.
Yeah.
And they'll buy the subscription, and they'll buy like the mounts and things. So where, you know, you're getting a game where it's $60, and I don't think the developers have thought through, like, if you're making a game like that, then you basically have to make almost not only the base game, but enough content to last a full year. A year.
At least 1 year.
1 year. That's when you ship it. It should be done. And you may tweak it. You know what I'm saying? Do some beta testing on it, tweak some things here and there based on how the feedback of the game. But the content the most part should be done. Because if you don't, there's just no way to keep up with the scheduling of keeping people playing that game. And so with Marvel, you know, once I finished it and there was no content, I'm like, okay, this should have just been a standalone game like Spider-Man. Like they should have scrapped the whole idea of this on service type gameplay and just made a Marvel Avengers game. Like, you know, how we got Batman, Arkham Knight, you know what I'm saying, Spider-Man. And it would probably been a lot better, you know what I'm saying, because you'd have got the story. That's kind of like I was saying earlier, where if it's going to be an MMO type game, you don't really expect the story to be the focal part. You want it to be there, obviously, but you know it's not going to be the focal, because the grinding of the stuff is more what you're into, the end game. But when you don't have any really end game, and then another problem that game has is when you're having games like that, you don't have yourself in the game. Like they gave you set characters. So, you know, as fun as it is to play with Iron Man during the campaign of Thor, it's kind of odd running the same missions over and over and over and over with somebody you can't inject your personal personality into, because, you know, like the whole game is to create your own character, buy your own mounts, to do them type of things. And that game just, I don't know, man. Like I think though, if they would have kept the DLC scheduling, like if Kate would have came out like maybe 2 or 3 weeks after the game came out, then a lot of that stuff would have probably got overlooked.
Yeah.
Because the content would have made up for it.
Yeah.
You probably still hated it.
Yeah.
But it would have kept people around while they fixed it.
Exactly.
You know. And I think that's one of the problems they have is like they didn't even have enough. And Anthem was like that.
Yep. Same situation.
And that's one game I always say, like, is if you look at it from a tech demo standpoint, it's fantastic.
Yes.
Like, to me, like flying around a complete open world, it's just something about just playing it for about 30 minutes. And you'll be blown away. Like,
I'm not even gonna say in front of you, man. I want to hate Anthem so bad. You know what I'm saying? I want to hate it so bad, man, but god dang the flight, bro. I'm like, yo, look, just being able to,
man, it's good.
It's crazy because you can you can see the writing on the wall, and just being able to launch your character off the ground.
Oh yeah,
spot your enemies on the ground, and like literally flying at full speed to the ground and just whipping suckers. I mean, like no pause. I mean, it's just. And I was like, why didn't you give this game a story?
It's amazing. I feel like the gameplay in that game, like even when you sitting on top of the tower,
dude,
and you just jump off like a suicide dive,
bruh,
and you go down just falling, and you just kick the jets in, bruh, and just and take off.
So you got me want to go and turn this sucker on just to, because that's how I'll just do that every once in a while. I just turn it on just to fly because it's so much fun.
Yeah, and people always like the Destiny killer, but that was it. Like that was the one. Like if they would have really polished that and had like content done right for that and raids and stuff, that would have killed Destiny.
But see, here's the thing, man. And Bobby, when I tell you were right, you 100% right. You're right on two fronts. And the thing about it is, I'm gonna use Ghost of Tsushima as a blueprint towards the end of this. One, you talk about content. You can even look at what they said on Netflix. Why everything they're doing now is switching so heavily focused to animation. Mm-hmm. Us as Americans consume content so vastly that no one can keep up with us.
Yep.
I started watching One Piece. I'm on episode 347 right now. So look how much I've done in a month.
You got a long way to go though.
Yeah, I got a lot to go. Yeah,
that's because see, you can't skip the movies now. You don't cheat.
No, I've watched movies too. Yeah, I watched movies. I even watched all them little filler cracks.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta get it all in. Get it all.
I had to, I got held back. They had the Soul King song. I had to sing that a couple times. You know what I mean? Yeah, Brooke came. He was singing too. I had to sing them songs too. But you gotta have the content, and whatever you think is enough is not enough. You gotta quadruple that. That's the only way you'll keep people satisfied.
Yep.
Or you gotta have a schedule enough in place where you're dropping content on a regular basis. Case in point, Genshin Impact. Every month they got something new. They know what they're doing, right?
True. Right. Good game. Excellent game.
And so when you look at like a Destiny killer, or you think Anthem can do it, Anthem could have done it. Right. But they had to follow the Ghost of Tsushima model, is that this is a BioWare game, right? Why can I not see my character? Why can I barely customize my character? Why can I barely interact with my squad mates? Why can I have a relationship with anybody? Yeah. So you failed that front. If you make a story, you're good. And if you add the multiplayer later, you already got people hooked with the story. They won't stop playing your multiplayer.
Right, exactly.
If Ghost of Tsushima had an option where you could buy skins, I would have already spent $50.
It's crazy because like Sucker Punch is like adamant about keeping that joint free. Like at the same time though, I mean, I have to admire that because this is our second topic in the world of abusive gaming monetization. You know what I'm saying? Like you get a few shining lights, so I mean, I think like we don't know what Cyberpunk 2077 will look like, but considering CD Projekt Red's track record, if they do DLC, there's so much more they give you. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the reasons why they're one of the most beloved, and why people, even though they're angry, they'll wait on them. Yep. You know what I'm saying? They're like, well, you should have had this game up, but you know what, though? I love you, and I can't leave you yet, all right?
I can't quit you, man.
I can't quit yet.
I can't quit you.
So, but think about the abuse that gamers have been through in the past like 3 years with monetization. Like, and it's to the point now where it's like, they don't need the money.
No.
They just doing it because they know they can now. So I'm opening up the floor now. So thoughts on gaming monetization woes and where you think it could actually go right. Like how would a good gaming monetization model look?
Well, I think I don't think, I don't know, man. I just think that's one thing I always harp on with the Asian market because, in their culture is always, they view their gaming like history.
Yes.
So that's why Dragon Quest, like Pokemon, I think Final Fantasy, like national holidays.
Yes.
So it takes on a different type of persona.
Yeah.
So they want to make money, but they're not going to jeopardize they're not going to damage their baby because their baby is part of their cultural, their nature, their nation's culture.
Yeah.
Like Pikachu is beloved because he's like the anthem, not the anthem, but what's the
mascot?
The mascot
for the Olympics,
right.
Yeah.
And when you flip the coin and come to America, and I talk a lot about like Bungie because I play the game a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And when you take Bungie and you take a lot of American companies, they don't have that same ideology.
That's true.
They view their game as just a item.
Mm-hmm.
This was something we created. They don't really have a personality or anything. And like how we was just talking, like you got guys spending like hundreds of hours and hundreds of dollars, and you want to be in that position where you're Bungie, or you want to be in that position where you're like Square with Marvel Avengers, because people do love Cap and Iron Man, all that stuff. But then at the same time, so if you know that, you kind of owe those people, like you owe those guys, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you owe that community a certain amount of commitment. You know what I'm saying? Like how you say on CD Projekt Red, like they know we have to delay this game because the people's expectation of us is there, and we're not damaging our integrity or our reputation, because we don't have a one reputation. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'll delay the game for a month if it secures our reputation. Whereas you look at Bungie and monetization where we're taking guns away and then giving guns back. You know what I'm saying? That's where we're at. And you start thinking like, well, how long does it really take to design a gun? Mm-hmm. Like, and how long are we going to keep running this scenario about we need more money? Because as technology grows, I watch people in like Warframe communities that don't work for Digital Extremes, just normal people like us, go out and make skins for Warframes in a week. And they're not even, that's not their professions. They may be a teacher that can design digitally. So they can sit home for a week and design it for free. But Bungie has people who make $70,000-$80,000 a year that can't design one gun skin. And people are smarter. So like the consumer is smarter. So the consumer is like, no, we know you don't need the money. Yeah, we know because I got a homeboy that makes the skins. Yep, like he can design gun skins and he can design armors and things like that. So like I don't know, like the American gaming companies are in a very uncomfortable, usual place right now. Yes, it's very, you were joking around, but it's very Atari-ish, like Atari. Yeah. And it's frightening because of that, because it's kind of looking like a lot of these companies, because I saw you guys posting a couple of days ago about the BioWare situation. Yeah. And people are just bouncing, and it looks like a crash is coming. Yes. And it looked like it's going to revert back to the Asians owning the majority of the market share of gaming again. Because of that. Yeah. I mean, I'm in full agreement with that, honestly. I mean, it's like it looks like, I think that's one of the reasons why PlayStation moved their market to US is to broadcast the bandwidth of PlayStation to Japan and to Europe. So that way both studios in two different countries could actually pretty much put that content in a house of America versus just America's making. And this is,
forget this all shade. Because if Neil Druckmann was writing all the games PlayStation, we screwed.
It'd be a rough time.
Yo, bro. About congratulations on becoming co-president of Naughty Dog too.
Oh gosh, you know what? I'm gonna say
this
Last of Us 2 stuff. We will do that last. I'm gonna say Last of Us 2 stuff. I'm gonna say Neil for last because I got a whole plate of food he can eat.
Yeah, So man, but yeah, it's like I think Bobby's right though on the speculation because it's crazy. All roads lead to the end. Like when you look at the way that the gaming it's gotten overpopulated. B, the popularity now affects the way that the games are even created. That was never supposed to be a thing.
No.
Especially if it's supposed to be art.
No.
You know, right. And so they keep nullifying the argument that video games are art because they listen too much to the consumer and change their art. No artist that I know ever sits there and says, oh, you know what? The people don't like this enough, so I need to change this thing in order to make it to where they like it. No, it's an art of expression. So you express your idea and people either like it or love it. I mean, like it or love it or hate it. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you add in the scrutiny about the monetization and stuff like that. And you see the backlash that we've been getting from that, you know, but once again, we've always had game monetizations. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I won't say always, but we've had it for like more than 20 years now, it feels like. You know, it's been around for a long time. You know what I'm saying? People forget the Final Fantasy, was it Final Fantasy 11?
11.
Was on PS2.
PS2.
That was 2001.
Well.
You know what I'm saying? That was monetized. And you had to plug in a actual Ethernet cable into your PlayStation 2 to play Final Fantasy 11. It's the first, and that's why I was messing with people because like they talk about PlayStation ain't cross play. I'm like, you don't know history. Listen, I'm not even gonna entertain that conversation because you don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, you know that you know the situation around all these money it's like the gamer is saying, make me an offer that I cannot refuse. That's what the gamer is saying. Make me an offer. And you make them an offer, like what Matt was talking about with Ghost of Tsushima. I make you an offer you can't refuse. Final Fantasy 14, I make you an offer you can't refuse. Black Desert, I make you an offer you can't refuse. Destiny has, on the real, since they've gone, you know, like when they went independent, they've been able, yes, it's worse. But as far as their money flow ain't bad.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So and that's because they were able to say to their own core people, they're like, make me an offer. And they're like, all right, well, this is what we can give you. And the core gamers, sorry, Bobby, are addicted. You know what I'm saying? They know they need their hit. They say like, well, how much is the dime?
Keep calling me, man.
Yeah, like
calling me.
How much is the dime? The dime is now 25. You know.
How much going up?
Like, how much you putting in the bag though? How much you put in the bag? Okay, well we'll go ahead and buy Steelz. I trust you. You know, like it's the offer has been made, but now it's gotten to the point, like what Steelz was just saying, it's gotten to the point where gamers are expected to pay it. That's a problem. Movie theaters are now like, we've already seen a crash in movie theaters. Movie theaters would have not been in this situation if they had thought ahead and say, you know what? Yeah, we got all these movie theaters. Why don't we actually build these parking lots into theaters too? Why don't we actually do that? So why don't we set both of them up at the same time? You could go inside or outside. They could have done that 5 years ago. But no, they chose to kill the outdoor theater, which was stupid. Right. It was a stupid idea because it's one of the dopest. If you've never been to like an outdoor, you know, drive-in theater, you're missing it. It was so dope. Mm-hmm. So dope, man. Like it's your own experience in your own car. You put the mic in your car. They got technology now where Cass is just using Bluetooth to your car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you could just sit in your car in the comfort of your own car with wings, burgers. You know what I'm saying? Popcorn. You can have some more cheapo popcorn, but I want some burgers.
Now I'm going to interject in this in a second, right?
Yeah.
So AMC don't think I will give HBO Max an additional $5 a month. They stupid. Because if they tell me, Matt, you give me $5 more a month and you can watch Doom, Wonder Woman, blah, 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 Batman, They getting it.
You getting these $5. I mean, like it's like no offense to Netflix, but Netflix to me got boring. Because I was like, no offense to y'all, bro, but after Cuties, man, I'm just gonna be real with you. I don't care if they make a bomb and a hitter after Cuties, man. I was like, thank you for showing me that, because I'm gonna take my 15 elsewhere. That 15 went straight down on HBO Max, which has a better on the real, a better interface, better scene selection, better recommendations.
Easier to find stuff too.
Easier to find. Like they have everything categorized, A through Z genre. You know what I'm saying? Years. They have everything there, so you can't miss a show if it came out for HBO or WB, right? So I'm like, and then they got the Crunchyroll thing because WB owns Crunchyroll, and Sony is right now in contendership to take Crunchyroll, but they might not. So that means that HBO Max might have it on my head because they already got Studio Ghibli up there.
Yeah.
On HBO Max, all the movies are on there, and I'm like, what do you got, Netflix? Oh, we got a Chappelle Show. No, you don't. Not anymore. Chappelle said,
"Hey, pay me my money.
Pay me my money."
But like, since we jumped to that, that's one of the reasons why I tell guys this is why Game Pass can't work.
Yes,
like, see, like it works in music because no matter what platform you have on your phone, like you got Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, Deezer, I think, like that, or all for the most part, all the music's the same.
Yeah.
That's it. Like all the music is the same. Drake's going to be on all of them.
Yep.
You know, Mariah Carey's on all of them. You know, Taylor Swift is on all of them.
Yep.
But with gaming, it can't be that way.
Yeah.
It can't. Like there's no one service or two service that's going to have God of War, Assassin's Creed, a Cyberpunk, all of them on there. It just can't be that way.
Yeah.
Because why would you need it to be that way? So if you think about it, if Microsoft had Game Pass, why would, if it starts to subscription becomes really like profitable, then why would Ubisoft need them to sell the pass that they could sell for themselves?
Exactly. It's going to cause a chain effect. I mean, like so because right now, like, you know, PS Now is all right, but props to them for being able to throw in as many PlayStation like exclusive games on that sucker as possible, which makes it, and they dropped the price to $9 a month. They actually figured out a way of doing that. But Game Pass is like $15.
Yeah.
And I'm like, homie, for what though? I mean, like, I'm like literally like just I'm trying my best to give people leniency on this, but the problem I got, and this ties into the monetization issue as well, and like for people, I always trying to get people to buy the extra thing. Microsoft in particular, Phil Spencer has mastered this word, wait.
Yeah.
That is the key word in selling. The key word for everything is wait. And every single time I hear people talk about the Series X, we're like, yo, what games they got? And they're like, they got games. I'm like, no, see, we're not saying that they don't have any games. That's not what we're saying. We're saying they don't have any current games that I want to play. That's what we mean by they have no games. You know, and then they just bought Bethesda. And I'm like, when will we get a Bethesda game? Well, you just have to wait. Now, here we go again. They told y'all to wait in 2015.
Power to cloud.
Oh, twos is a thing now, and then they lost. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like it doesn't make sense to me. Like, how and that's what Activision's been doing that. EA's been doing that. You know what I'm saying? Square's been doing that with a couple of things. I think Final Fantasy, the only thing that they got right now that, like, once again, back in the day, is the only thing they got right now that can actually be profitable. Because, like, everything else ain't doing that well. You know what I'm saying?
They won't do nothing else.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, they sitting on Square Enix is two mistakes away from being the worst gaming company in history. Because you sitting on this wealth of content. Bruh. Like if you release, bro, I got Vagrant Story. It's gonna cost you $79.99. It's remade. Yeah. I hope you got it, baby. Because if you don't, you know, that's on you. Yeah. You think I won't come up with $79.99 for them? Have it.
Look, I remember when Lunar 2 came out from Square. And that game was $120 on a PS2. Yes, I said it, people. It was $120. Yeah. I bought it. The game was phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was so niche that they're like, no, we have to jack the price because we only get like one of these in the store.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't care how much they want, $120. Take this $120, leave me alone.
I remember Fantasy Star 4 was 100.
Bruh. Bro, I mean, like, so think about this right here as well, man. You got Dragon Quest, right? Which I think 11, no offense, was a dud. That's my thoughts. I mean, it didn't do anything. I mean, like
it wasn't 8. That's
yeah, like I'm saying, it was a little weird. I was like, this don't feel like Dragon Quest. It feels a little weird, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's just one man's opinion. I'm not gonna throw that on everybody. But you also got to think about Legend Dragoon. Come on now, you telling me that this generation won't play that?
Hey, we appreciate y'all for listening to Niggas Unchained.
And if you like this podcast, please subscribe, like, and share. For more episodes and more details, definitely stay tuned to us. Always remember to solve those enigmas and what?
Don't leave them unsolved.